Have you noticed that your knees seem to complain the most during the simplest parts of the day? Standing up from a chair, walking to the kitchen, taking those first few steps in the morning. If you're over 50, you're not alone. Many people assume knee pain means the joint is simply wearing out, but the real problem isn't always inside the knee itself. What most people don't realize is that weak thigh muscles, inactive interleg muscles, and loss of everyday leg strength can slowly force the knees to do more work than they were designed to handle. That's why today we're focusing on 3 simple chair exercises: the seated leg extension hold, the pillow squeeze, and the assisted sit to stand. Each one targets a different muscle group that helps support and stabilize your knees during daily activities. These movements are gentle, beginner-friendly, and designed specifically for aging bodies. More importantly, they'll help you understand what's really happening inside your legs every time you stand, walk, or climb stairs. Let's start with exercise number 1. Exercise number 1, seated leg extension. Hold. Let's begin by sitting comfortably near the front edge of a sturdy chair. Place both feet flat on the floor and sit tall but relaxed. Now, if this exercise sounds difficult, don't worry. It may look simple, but that's exactly why it works so well for many adults over 60. Slowly straighten one leg in front of you until your knee is comfortably straight. Then gently pull your toes toward your body. Hold for 5 seconds. As you hold, take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Then lower the leg slowly back down. Repeat 8 to 10 times before switching sides. Now here's something most people don't realize. Every time you stand up, climb stairs, or lower yourself into a chair, the large muscles at the front of your thigh are supposed to help absorb force before it reaches the knee. But after years of sitting more and moving less, those muscles often become quieter. Not gone, just quieter. And when that happens, the knee joint starts doing work the muscles were designed to handle. That's why some people say, "My knees feel weak," even when they're not doing anything strenuous. As you lift your leg, imagine you're waking up a sleeping muscle. You're sending a message from your brain down into that thigh, reminding it to participate again. Think of it like turning the lights back on in a room that hasn't been used in years. You may even notice a slight shaking sensation. That's normal. It's often a sign that muscles are being asked to work again. One mistake I see all the time is lifting the leg quickly and dropping it back down. Slow is better. The lowering phase is just as important as the lifting phase. Another common mistake is leaning backward in the chair. Try to keep your chest lifted and your spine tall. Let the thigh do the work. If your knee is painful today, don't lift all the way. Even lifting halfway and holding for 3 seconds can be enough to start building strength safely. Here's the hidden mechanism. When these thigh muscles contract, they help stabilize the kneecap and improve how force travels through the leg. Over time, movement can begin to feel smoother and more controlled. Many older adults tell me that standing up from the couch feels harder than walking. This is often one reason why. The muscles needed for that movement have gradually become weaker. The good news is that muscles can respond at any age, one repetition at a time, one day at a time. Now that we've started waking up the muscles that support the front of the knee, let's move to the next exercise and target another area that many people completely overlook. Exercise number 2, pillow squeeze. Have you ever noticed that your knees seem to drift inward a little when you stand up from a chair or climb stairs? Most people blame the knees themselves, but sometimes the hidden issue is actually higher up the chain. This exercise may look almost too simple to matter, yet it targets a group of muscles that many older adults have unknowingly stopped using well over the years. Grab a pillow, cushion, or even a rolled-up towel and place it between your knees. Sit near the front of your chair with both feet flat on the floor and your spine comfortably tall. Take a slow breath in. As you breathe out, gently squeeze the pillow between your knees. Not as hard as you can, just enough to feel the muscles along your inner thighs wake up. Hold for 5 seconds, then slowly release. Repeat this 10 times. As you squeeze, imagine drawing your legs toward the center of your body, almost like gently closing a pair of elevator doors. You should feel the effort high on the inside of your thighs, not in your feet or lower legs. Now here's the hidden insight. Those inner thigh muscles help create stability between your hips and knees every time you stand, walk, turn, or change direction. When they become weak, the knees often lose some of their natural support. It's a bit like a tent with one loose support rope. The structure may still stand, but it doesn't feel nearly as secure. Many seniors describe this as feeling unsteady rather than painful. They say things like, "My knees don't always hurt, but they don't feel trustworthy anymore." If that sounds familiar, this exercise was made for that feeling. One common mistake is squeezing with the ankles or pressing the feet together. Try to keep the feet relaxed and let the inner thighs do the work. Another mistake is holding your breath. Keep breathing naturally throughout the hold. If you have significant knee discomfort, use a softer pillow and reduce the pressure. Even a gentle squeeze can activate these muscles safely. As the weeks go by, these small contractions can help reconnect muscles that have been sitting on the sidelines for years. Think of it like tightening the support cables around a bridge. Everything begins to feel a little more stable, a little more connected. And sometimes that's exactly what older adults have been missing. You've already strengthened the front of the thighs. Now you've started restoring support from the inside of the legs as well. But now, let's move into the next exercise and train one of the most important movements for staying independent as we age. Exercise number 3. Assisted sit to stand. Have you ever noticed that getting out of a chair sometimes feels harder than walking across the room? Many older adults are surprised by this, but it's actually one of the earliest signs that the muscles responsible for independence are beginning to weaken. That's why our final exercise is the assisted sit to stand. It isn't just an exercise, it's practice for one of the most important movements you'll perform every single day. Sit near the front edge of a sturdy chair. Place your feet about hip-width apart with your heels directly under your knees. Rest your hands lightly on the chair or armrests if needed. Take a slow breath in. As you exhale, lean your chest slightly forward and press through your feet to stand up. Once you're standing tall, pause for 1 second, then slowly lower yourself back down into the chair. Don't drop. Control the descent. Repeat 8 to 10 times. As you stand, imagine pushing the floor away from you. You should feel effort in your thighs, hips, and even your glutes. The movement should feel challenging but steady. Now here's something most seniors never realize. The hardest part of standing isn't actually standing. It's the moment just before you leave the chair. That's the instant when your brain asks dozens of muscles to coordinate together at exactly the right time. As we age, that communication can become slower. Not because we're broken, but because the body gets less practice using those pathways. This exercise helps rebuild that connection. Think of it like reopening a road that's become overgrown after years of light traffic. The more often the signal travels, the smoother the journey becomes. One common mistake is using momentum and rocking forward quickly. Instead, move with control. Let your muscles create the movement. Another mistake is allowing the knees to collapse inward. Keep them pointing in the same direction as your feet. If standing fully feels difficult today, that's okay. Use your hands for support or perform a partial stand, lifting only halfway before sitting back down. You are still training the pattern. You are still making progress. Many people tell me that standing up from the couch makes them feel older than they are. If you've ever felt that way, you're certainly not alone. But there is something reassuring about practicing this movement. Every repetition reminds your body that strength is still available, that improvement is still possible, and perhaps most importantly, that independence is something worth protecting. Take a moment and notice how your legs feel now compared to when we started. A little warmer, a little more awake, a little more connected. Those small changes matter. They are often the first signs that your body is responding, and with consistency, those small changes can grow into easier mornings, steadier steps, and greater confidence throughout the day. Now that you've completed all 3 exercises, let's talk about how to put them together into a simple daily routine that supports stronger, more comfortable knees over time. Final thoughts. Small movements, big changes. Before we finish today, I want to leave you with one important thought. Many people spend years believing that knee pain automatically means their best days of movement are behind them. They start avoiding stairs. They sit a little longer. They walk a little less. And slowly, without realizing it, the muscles that protect the knees become weaker and weaker. But what we talked about today tells a different story. Sometimes the body isn't asking for less movement. It's asking for the right movement. The 3 exercises you completed today may look simple, but they target some of the most important muscles involved in standing, walking, climbing stairs, and staying independent as we age. And here's something I hope you'll remember. Don't judge these exercises by how difficult they feel today. Judge them by what happens after doing them consistently. A stronger body is often built one small repetition at a time. Now I'd love to hear from you. How old are you? What is your biggest knee challenge right now? Is it stiffness when you first stand up? Pain while walking? Difficulty climbing stairs? Or perhaps your knees don't hurt much, but they simply feel weak or unstable? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in hearing what you're experiencing because chances are someone else watching this video is dealing with the exact same thing. And I have another question for you. Which exercise felt the most helpful today? Was it the seated leg extension hold, the pillow squeeze, or the assisted sit to stand? Take a moment and share your answer below. Your comment might encourage someone else to give these exercises a try. Most importantly, please don't watch this video once and then forget about the exercises. Knowledge is helpful. Practice is what creates change. Try these movements daily for the next few weeks. Pay attention to how your knees feel when you get out of bed, stand up from a chair, or walk through the grocery store. Those little moments are often where progress first appears. And if you notice that one of these exercises gives you particularly good results, I would love for you to come back and tell us about it. Leave a comment and share what changed. Maybe standing became easier. Maybe your knees felt steadier. Maybe you felt more confident walking. Whatever your experience is, your story could help someone else feel hopeful enough to start. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me today. Take care of your knees, take care of your body, keep moving, keep practicing, and remember, it's never too late to support the strength you still have. I'll see you in the next video.